Salut mes little baguettes, welcome to l'Académie Équilibre, and today we're doing lesson 3, Chercher du Travail of class 10, Entre Jeunes. So let's get started. So basically, what is this chapter about? As the name suggests, we're talking about chercher du travail, that is the verb to search as in chercher. Search what? Searching work. Travail is your work. It comes from the verb travailler, which means to work. That is the verbal form of it, and travail is the noun form of it. Alright, now we come to the discussion that we have. Here you can see that there are two people, right? And there's a discussion between them. So you will see, Métro Châtelet, Pauline rencontre sa cousine Adeline Vernon qui habite à Rem après longtemps. That is, what is the location of this discussion? It is Métro Châtelet. It is basically a metro station in Paris. Okay, so that is the location. And we have the characters Pauline and her cousin Adeline Vernon. She is meeting her cousin there, that is rencontrer, okay, who lives at Rem. Now Rem is another city in France, okay? Okay, and they're meeting after a long time, après longtemps. So they start the conversation. Pauline says, Ah, Adeline, quelle surprise. That is, they're meeting, so basic greetings, that is, oh, Adeline, what a surprise. And she responds, Hi, how are you doing? That is, ça va, that is all good. So she responds, Oui, ça va, et toi, qu'est-ce que tu fais à Paris? So they're in Paris, and as I said, the metro station is also in Paris. Alright, so she asks, and you, qu'est-ce que tu fais? That is, it's a way of asking, what are you doing in Paris? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Where fait is your verb faire, to do. So, qu'est-ce que tu fais? What are you doing? What are you doing in Paris? So she responds, ça fait 6 mois que j'ai quitté Rem. Now we already know that the cousin, she lives at Rem, but then she says, it's been 6 months that I left Rem. She left her home. Quitter is basically to quit or to leave. So she left her home around 6 months ago. It's been 6 months. And now, maintenant, j'ai un travail dont je suis contente. That is, now she has a work, un travail. That's what the chapter is about, right? Work. So she has found a work of which, dont, for those who don't know, right, dont is les pronoms relatifs simples. Okay, in case you're not aware of that, it is a grammar topic. It's basically, for now, it means of which. Okay, so she has a work of which she is happy. Je suis contente. Okay, because Adeline here, she's a girl, so we'll use the feminine form of the adjective. That is, we add a E over here. If it was a boy saying the same thing, it would be content. Here, it is contente. Okay, then she says, Pauline says, où? As in, you have work, right? You left your home. Where are you working? Où? So, l'entreprise dans laquelle je travaille se trouve à 100 mètres d'ici. Je suis secrétaire. That is, she responds that where does she work? She works in an enterprise or in a company, okay, in which I work. It is found around 100 meters from here. So, this is your company. And dans laquelle, again, this is also a pronoun. It is les pronoms relatifs composés. For now, dans, we know it means in, and laquelle is in which. Okay, so the enterprise in which I work, it is found around 100 meters from here. Okay, ici is here, and de is basically from. Okay, and what is her work? What's her job? It is secrétaire. That is, she is a secretary in a company. That is her post. Un poste. Alright, so the dialogue continues. Qu'est-ce que tu fais comme travail? That is, Pauline is curious, like what do you do for work, right? You're a secretary. So what all comes under your job? Okay, again you'll see the same expression, qu'est-ce que tu fais? That is, what do you do? What all comes under that? So now she responds, what all are the responsibilities of a secretary? Les responsabilités. Now this is extremely important, okay, because the question might come, right, describe what all does Adeline do as a secretary, right? What all are her responsibilities? Okay, so she tells her, as-tu sais, un peu de travail intellectuel et manuel. Okay, so she starts off by saying, oh, you know, sais is your verb savoir, to know. Un peu de travail intellectuel et manuel. A little bit of her work is intellectual, okay, related to the mind, right? and some bit of it is manual, that is physical. Under that, what all does she specifically do? So first thing, make a note. First point is, je dois prendre des notes que je dois rédiger sous forme des lettres sur l'ordinateur. That is, what is the first thing she does? That is, I must take. Doit is a verb devoir, to must. Prendre is to take. So since our first verb is conjugated with je, we will not conjugate the second verb, we will leave it in infinitive. That is the rule, right? So she must take notes. Okay, which then what does she do with them? She has to rewrite them in the form of letter on the computer. That's how we generally do it, right? We take rough notes and then later we fair it. So where does she fair it? She rewrites them, rédiger, that is to rewrite or to compose in the form of a letter, right? More like an official document. Okay, so whatever, maybe something happened in a meeting. So she took notes and then she made it in a letter form in a more structured, formal way on the computer. Most of the work happens on the computer, right? L'ordinateur. That was her first responsibility. What is the second one? The second point is, je tape des textes que je dois imprimer sur l'imprimante. That is, she types, tap is taper, to type. So she types the text which then she has to print on the printer. Imprimer is a verb to print and the noun is basically your printer, l'imprimante. Fine, then we have third task, third responsibility, that is, je range les dossiers et je fais des photocopies. Okay, so she basically has to arrange the files. Ranger, to arrange. What does she arrange? The files, right? And what else does she do? She takes photocopies, les photocopie. Okay, if you want, you can pause the video and note down the vocabulary because I'll just clear it up so the actual text is visible. So now she ends it by saying that a secretary, they have a lot of things to do. That is, beaucoup de is a lot of things, chose, to do, faire. And even though there's a lot of work still, she says, but it is a post of which I am proud. Okay, un poste, as in, even though it ends with e, it is an exception, it is masculin singulier. Okay, and she is quite proud of her job. Je suis fière is an expression, that is, I am proud. That is, it comes from the expression être fier de quelqu'un or quelque chose. That is, to be proud of, you'll conjugate être with whatever your subject is. Here it was je, so it became suis. And then fier, that is proud of, so you can be proud of someone, right? I'm proud of you, I'm proud of her, I'm proud of him, or you can be proud of something. That is, in this case, she is proud of her job, her post. Now, this is the most important paragraph in the entire discussion because there are questions based off of that. That is, what are the responsibilities of a secretary, right? Describe them. So how will you write your answer? I gave you 3 responsibilities. Okay, you'll start the answer by saying, une secrétaire a beaucoup de choses à faire. Okay, that is your introduction. So a secretary has a lot of things to do. Okay, and what things? So the work involves intellectual and manual stuff. Okay, then you're gonna go on to mention the actual responsibilities. That is, first one is taking the notes and writing them on the computer, then typing the text, printing it, and finally arranging the files and making photocopies. Okay, that is your description of the responsibilities of a secretary. Now we end this discussion by saying, Pauline says que c'est intéressant, on se reverra un de ces jours. That is, oh, that's very interesting. On, that is we are going to see each other, right? Reverra is your verb revoir. Okay, voir is to see, revoir is to see again. And what tense is that? It is future simple. Okay, that is, we will see each other. This se means each other in this context. Okay, so voir is an exception in future simple. It becomes ver and then the avoir endings. That means revoir will also be an exception, so it is rever plus your avoir endings. Okay, so we're gonna see each other one of these days. And Adeline finally says, au revoir, Pauline. That is, bye, Pauline. So this was our discussion between the cousins. I hope it is clear to you.